Testing, testing, testing. I think we are live. Sports fans, what's going on? Patrick over here at GhostPicks ATS. I'm going to do a quick little check here, make sure we are live, having some technical difficulties. No, we're live. We're good. All right, so mute that. Hope everyone's doing all right today. We're going to go over a quick NBA DFS strategy that I love and definitely can incorporate today in a game. We got 26 teams going off in the NBA tonight, 26 out of 30. So almost the entire NBA is playing tonight, which means every player you could imagine. A lot of injuries, a lot of things we can take advantage. But more importantly, there's a lot of low-scoring games, low totals, slower-paced teams playing against each other tonight. And even more importantly, there's a couple very fast-paced teams that absolutely get after it with injuries in those games that we can really take advantage of. And we're going to hammer down those specific games today and really hope for fast pace. Those are the highest scoring games. Increased opportunity equals increased chances to win, especially with NBA DFS. So I'll go over briefly each player, each game that we'll be looking into and talking about that. We'll also have a quick little couple free plays. If you're watching live, we'll have some NBA as well as some NCAA basketball picks. Don't have any college basketball packages up yet because I have to run my models, my simulations and things. Or not my simulations, but test my models against the betting public, against Vegas, and see how it is doing before going into the full-on packages with units and everything. So I have a couple model plays here for you today for college basketball as well as the NBA DFS. So let's go ahead and get right on into NBA DFS because that starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're watching live, we are going with this lineup right here. As long as there's no injury news, I always try to, if I'm doing one of the early slates, like a 7 to a full night slate, I'll try to load up on the front half a little more just because you never know who's going to be injured or late night inactives or something like that. So as of now, this is what we're going with. Looking here, Lonzo, no late news coming out today. So this is what we have rolling here. First one we're going to be going with is James Harden. That's our top dog tonight with Kevin Durant out. Kyrie will be in the lineup as Brooklyn Nets are playing on the road. But against this Washington team that has one of the fastest paces in basketball, I think the Brooklyn Nets will be pushing it, especially without KD. I mean, you guys talking about James Harden and Kyrie Irving. They absolutely get after it on the offensive end. And defense will maybe a little bit short in that game. So starting off right there with James Harden, top dog. And we can do that specifically because there's a lot of injuries tonight in big games. So Memphis Grizzlies are our team tonight that we will be attacking. So the games tonight with the highest totals, we've got 4 of them, or 5 of them. But Houston and Utah, that's a 14-point spread. I usually try to stay away from those or attack some bench players who may be getting some more minutes in a blowout. But I like Utah in that one by 20+. Almost. So, I don't like going up on any of those heavy players. So I'm ixnay that game. And then it leaves us with 4 games with extremely high totals that we can, Vegas knows, the pace is going to be kicking. So we can take advantage of those in the NBA DFS tonight. First one, Minnesota and Atlanta. You can see here 3 guys in that game. 2 guys. We got DeAndre Hunter and Oganawu for the Atlanta Hawks with no Clint Capella and Gorgie Dang not getting any minutes. And then in the backcourt, you got Bogdan Bogdanovic, who's also out as of the past 2 games. And then you look deep into the bench, and a couple of those guys are out as well. So there should be some good minutes between DeAndre Hunter and Oganawu against the Minnesota Timberwolves at home, cheaply priced. I think both of those guys haven't had as many minutes in the past, but given the set of injuries, those guys should be getting some serious work in a game with the total with I think 232. So a lot of opportunities there. And then the game we're mainly attacking is the Memphis Grizzlies at the Milwaukee Bucks. Memphis got a COVID case. Desmond Bane, Kyle Anderson, 4 guys on the bench all got it. And they've already been running thin without Dillon Brooks in the lineup. So with all that being said, what does that mean? These guys are going to be getting minutes. Milwaukee is favored by a pretty good bit. 7 points against the hottest team in basketball in Memphis. That's a little bit suspect. I kind of lean the Bucks at home. But then again, Memphis is that underdog mentality. They always have it. So tough to really tell what they're going to do. But either way, one way or another, these are the bench guys. These are the guys that should get minutes, whether they're in a tight ball game or if they're, if the game's out of hand. These guys should still be on the floor. And with the total, once again, sitting at 232, the combination of DeAndre Melton, John Concher, and Zaire Williams, those three guys off the Memphis Grizzlies, they're all below $4,000 on NBA DFS, which is dirt cheap. They produce as it is. They've been getting a little more minutes gradually. Concher put up a huge double-double the other night. DeAndre Melton, whenever he gets minutes, he's efficient, very productive. And Zaire Williams has been getting more and more minutes with Dylan Brooks out of the lineup. You add in 3 more guys out of the lineup in that game, I see a bunch of opportunities for those guys there. And they're, the baseline for our lineup. They give us the opportunity to go for 3 studs. So usually you only get 2 studs when you go in fantasy basketball. But with this many opportunities or with this many injuries, we're going to go ahead and front load. I like my top 3 guys being Harden, Sabonis, and Garland for what it's worth. Once again, all injury based. For the Nets, Kevin Durant is out. Harden, increased opportunity. The Sabonis for the Pacers, Miles Turner, the other big man, out as of yesterday. So against the Los Angeles Lakers with the total sitting at 225, and the Lakers have been getting after it as far as pace goes. No Miles Turner, you got to imagine that his usage rate should go through the roof. And only at 10,000, I think that's very reasonable. He goes for a 55 piece tonight, and 5.5 times value. That is baseline what we're looking for. Then we got Darius Garland. So Darius Garland's an interesting one. He's the lone wolf out of here that doesn't fit the mold as far as the pace goes. This total sitting at like 210, probably one of the slower ones of the night. But this guy is all about usage rate. So Colin Sexton has been out for a long time, and with that, Garland's been the main guy. But they've had backup point guards come in now and take those minutes off of Garland. Rondo is out. Let me see. I got to pull it up here. And these are the depth guys. I mean, they have nobody. They have 0 backup point guards in Cleveland. Over the past 5 games, Darius Garland's been averaging like 37 minutes. He's been averaging about 48 fantasy points. So whereas down here you can see he's averaging about 38 for the year. He's been on fire as of recently, and especially with Rondo out of the lineup. So Rondo steals 20 minutes. He's got a high usage rate when he's on the court. He's always got the ball in his hand. With him out, Garland steals those extra minutes, adds to that extra value that we're looking for. With only $9,000, pretty damn reliable. I think that about wraps it up for the NBA DFS. So if you're just coming in, appreciate you hopping on in here. You can check out all premium packages at what's that, up there. Use your phone, you can take a picture of it and take it straight to the website, or you can go to GhostPicksATS.com/Team Patrick and check out all premium packages. The ones that are on special are down here in the bottom left. We got this sports betting, NFL Sunday top tier play. And then NFL DraftKings. So I came on here last week talking about DraftKings, how much I love it, especially for the playoffs. You can't really see down there. We hit in the top 2% of NFL DFS last weekend. Had it only for $10 down for the special wildcard weekend. Bumped that back up. Well, it was down from $30 down to $10 only for that weekend. And we go hitting the top 2%. So that was awesome. And then the NFL week package will be $99. Again, for this one, you get all plays, all write-ups, NFL DFS, top tiers, everything included. So looking to get on board. There's a great opportunity there, especially with the NFL playoffs. We'll have a video. I'll be going live talking about a recap of the NFL weekend later, as well as talking about my favorite pick of the divisional round. So looking forward to that. That'll be coming out tonight. Let's see. I think that about does it here. Oh, college basketball. Let's get into just like a 2-1. I got to go from the camera. This is what you got to do when it's live. One sec. All right. So, college basketball. Model picks of the day. So these are picks here. All right, now we're getting back into it. All right, college basketball model picks. So if you're just tailing in here, the NBA DFS is over here to my left. That's the lineup for tonight. Once the video's over, you can go back and go through and check out all the reasons why, but mainly based off injury and these high totals in these games, specifically games that we have. Specials down here, but let's get into those college basketball model picks. So I don't have any premium packages available yet for college basketball, and that is because I have to test my models, test my theories, my numbers. I don't like doing anything premium packages wise, only free plays, which free plays have been great with college basketball going off these models. So let's go ahead and fire it right up. Right off the rip, going with Ben Dog. St. John's is one of my model picks for tonight. St. John's plus 3.5. Maybe the biggest mismatch of the entire day today is the St. John's pressure versus the Creighton turnovers. Creighton has more turnovers than just about anybody in the country versus a lot of pressure. Sure enough, St. John's, top 5 in forcing turnovers. If you can't shoot the ball, if you can't get it up, you have no chance of going in. St. John's plus a 3.5 as my model pick of the day, followed by Alabama minus the 4 points over LSU. This is an interesting one here. I think it's more so based off LSU's struggles shooting the ball on the road. LSU struggles shooting the ball as a whole. They have not been a great shooting team this year. Going up against Alabama, who the first time around was very successful shooting the ball against this LSU team, which we have not seen this year. LSU's defense has been phenomenal. Alabama gave it to them. Now, LSU shot like 60% from the field that game. They did everything they could to stay in it, and I don't think that's the case today. I don't think LSU has as much success on the offensive end. Alabama, minus the 4. Now we're getting into the depth of the model picks. So these 4 picks here are oddities. They show up. They're weird. Bottom tier games. 1. Bradley plus 7 over Drake. Bradley's one of these teams I think Bradley's going to turn it around. I mean, it's a weird team. Don't watch them too much. But they're one of the teams. My numbers and their results have not matched up. I like Bradley to keep it tight against Drake tonight. Iowa at Rutgers. On the road, 3-point favorite. I like the Iowa Hawkeyes. They got the best player maybe in the country. And you're going to need that in Rutgers. Rutgers is a tough place to play. And then we have Colgate at Bucknell. Colgate, my model has this one strength. The schedule is through the roof with Colgate. They're only 6-10. You look at a 6-10 team on the road as a 10-point favorite. That's not a pretty thing to see. Colgate's so much better than Bucknell. It's not even crazy. Given Colgate's record, they're about to get into their conference play. Colgate's going to roll. The last year they were about undefeated in conference play. They played a weak schedule last year at a conference and rolled through it. This year they played a tough at a conference schedule and struggled, but that's what I think the best small mid-majors do. They get tested early. Colgate minus the 10 over Bucknell, and then this one is the I don't even know. I don't know what is the deal with my model. This is the one, my model might be broken here. So give this one a grain of salt. But this is my model pick of the day, the stank of all stank. New Hampshire versus Hartford. Hartford plus 2. Haven't played in a month. But without their best player, it's almost the same thing as Northwestern yesterday. So Pete Nance is maybe a top 20 offensive player in the country for Northwestern. He was out the game before against Michigan State, and they had the best defensive performance they've had all year long. They come back yesterday against Wisconsin, and Wisconsin was able to score on them at will. Same thing. They go at this Nance guy. He's the worst defender. It's the same thing for Hartford, in my opinion. This team has 2 wins on the year, so know what you're getting into before you do it. Hartford has 2 wins. They're at home against New Hampshire and have not played in a month. They're a 2-point dog. Something's up with that. Their best offensive player, he's going to be out. And this is the thing about my model. These games, it's tough to figure out. You got to do a lot of research. So Hartford's best player, he's also one of the most turnover-prone players in all of college basketball. He turns it over at almost a 30% clip, which is 1 out of every 3 possessions. He's turning the rock over. He's also a defensive liability. They play a completely different game. Slow it down. Don't turn the rock over. Haven't played in a month, which is the only thing their offense, that's my thing, though. How much worse can you get? You haven't played in a month. Your offense sucks, but I guarantee you their defense will be fresh and will be getting after it, and I think that may be what we're looking at. So Hartford, +2. Quick recap of those ones, the college basketball model. These are ones small plays we're tracking. These are my top plays of the day as far as my model goes. St. John's +3.5. Alabama -4. Bradley +7 versus Drake. Iowa -3 versus Rutgers. Colgate -10 versus Bucknell. And Hartford +2 versus New Hampshire. Woo! QR code in the top left. Scan that, takes you right over the GhostPicks Patrick website. If you're watching on your phone or whatever, you can hit the link in the description. They should have all the premium packages up and ready to go. My NBA DFS right here. It tips off at 7 o'clock. But if you are getting onto this late and you want to do a 7:30 or a late night one, I would suggest taking the exact same lineup straight down the line. The only one playing at 7 o'clock is James Harden, and the only one playing at 10:30 are Sabonis. So those top 2 guys in that next game are going to be Trae Young and Bam Adebayo. I think that's the only switch you have to do, and then maybe one more. But that's where you guys come in and get creative with yourself. So enjoyed it. Good luck. God bless. Grind on. We'll catch you back here later. I'm doing my NFL video later today. The one game that there's no injuries, nothing to worry about. The Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs will be sitting here, and we're going to be deep in discussion on that game, and as well as recapping last wildcard weekend and all the games. So thanks for tuning in. I'm out of here. Peace.